All right, what is going on, guys? This weekend is UFC Fight Night, Garry versus Prates, and I'm going to go on my full card breakdown and predictions of each fight, starting with the prelim opener of Chelsea Chandler versus Jocelyn Edwards. Cannot wait for this banger matchup in the top 15 of the women's bantamweight division. 100% joking. One thing I do want to point out, real quick, my webcam broke. It's old as fuck. I used this webcam originally when I first started making YouTube videos in like 2015. So I'm gonna have to order a new one. So there's gonna be probably this week and next week's videos will not have a webcam. But then once I get a new one, we'll go back to webcam. Anyway, back into this fight. This is like, I know like Edwards is a heavy favorite. She's a minus 290 favorite. And I'm gonna pick Jocelyn Edwards to win via decision. She's not that good. This is the women's bantamweight division. This is the least skilled division in women's MMA in the UFC. I cannot believe Chelsea Chandler's ranked number 14. If this is who's in your rankings, oh my god, that division is garbage. So I'm going to go Edwards via decision. She could get out grappled by Chelsea Chandler? Yes. But I think it's more likely Edwards would clip Chelsea Chandler and Chandler would run away and try and escape the octagon. I think that's probably more likely to happen. We'll see. Moving up the card, we have Timmy Cumbia versus Roberto Romero. Again, overall, this card's got some good fights coming up on it. But like the first few fights, man, they're just not that good. I'm going to go, we'll go with old Timmy by decision. Again, this almost like a 50-50 fight. I'm not super confident in either of these guys, like to just definitively like, oh, this guy's going to for sure win. I'm not confident in either one of them to pick like that. So I'm going to go Timmy to win via decision. I think he's fought a little bit better of opposition in his overall career. Moving on. Another banger in the women's division. We have Jacqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana. I'm going Amorim. I'm thinking either submission or decision. I'm going to go Amorim to win via decision. Viana is not good at all. She is not good at all. She just, for whatever reason, people simp over. And I think she makes OnlyFans videos. Other than that, she does not belong in the UFC. She's not good at fighting. There for a while, people were giving her hype because she was training with Alex Pereira, which, what does that mean? Really not looking forward to this fight. Moving up, actually a decent fight. We have Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cameron Simon. We have Wellmaker making his debut coming off Dana White's Contender Series. Simon, I believe he's on a 2-fight losing streak. I think he came into the UFC undefeated. I know he got beat by Peyton Talbot. And was it Christian Rodriguez back-to-back? I can't remember if it was back-to-back or not. Cameron Simon is very well-rounded. It's just hard for me to pick him. It seems like every time I see him fight, it's almost like, I don't want to say he doesn't inflict damage on people, but he just, maybe it's the face. I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't have that like that killer instinct in him. I just feel like he just can't inflict damage on his opponents. He can't break their will. Yeah, look, I'm sure he's done it in the past, but coming off back-to-back losses, I'm going to be going Malcolm Wellmaker to win via decision. I think Simon is very tough, very hard to get out of there. Who's the favorite? There are no odds on it. I'm going to go Wellmaker to win via decision. I think, he's got the reach advantage. He's got the height advantage. I know he doesn't have any fights in the UFC, and he's fighting lower level opposition. I will give Simon that. He is fighting the higher level opposition. But I think with Wellmaker's going to have momentum on his side, undefeated, making his UFC debut. But on the other hand, Simon is back's kind of against the wall. Maybe he will have a bounce back performance against Malcolm Wellmaker. Moving up the card. Oh gosh, here we go. We have Damon Blackshear versus Alan Hellinger. Alan Hellinger? I'm going to go Damon Blackshear to win. I almost want to pick him via submission. I think he's got really good ground game. Better on the feet than a Hellinger. And look at that. He's got. I didn't realize how big of a reach and height advantage Damon Blackshear has. I'm going to go Damon Blackshear to sub and Hellinger. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. I think he's just better everywhere, honestly. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Moving up the card, we have Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda. Kind of both of them. I don't want to say they're similar because they have different fighting styles, but similar results in the UFC. Kind of a mixed bag of results. Kind of Gutierrez has gotten further as far as being a ranked. He was ranked at one point. Castaneda kind of trading wins and losses, get a couple win streak, then lose, then win a couple, lose. Even though it looks like Gutierrez does have a reach disadvantage, even though he is taller than John Castaneda, I think Gutierrez is the more well-rounded fighter. I think he's going to use his kicks, his leg kicks especially, to keep Castaneda at bay and being able to work on the feet more. I think for Castaneda, his best path to victory would be to submit Gutierrez. And for Gutierrez, it would be more of a stand-up fight for him. I just don't see John Castaneda being able to severely out-grapple Chris Gutierrez unless he pulls guard like he did against Song Yadong. So if he does some stupid fight IQ crap like that, maybe Castaneda could win. I just don't see that happening. But yeah, I feel like we're going to see Chris Gutierrez win via decision. Moving up the card, we have Evan Elder versus Gage Young. This is another one. Like, sometimes they build these cards, and I feel like some fights should be higher up, some fights should be lower up. I'm going to go Evan Elder to win. Gage Young's taken this on very short notice. I want to say, was it this week, I think? Or maybe it was last week. Very, very short notice nonetheless. Coming off of Dana White's Contender Series. I honestly haven't watched any footage on Gage Young. So I know nothing about him. But I'm assuming, you get on the Contender Series, you get your win, you're coming for your debut on short notice. Evan Elder isn't the best opposition in the lightweight division. So would it surprise me if he lost? No. Let's see what the odds are. There are no odds. Would it surprise me if he lost? No, it wouldn't. But just with the competition Evan Elder has fought, it is definitely higher level than Gage Young has fought thus far in his career. We'll see what happens, but I think Evan Elder is going to walk away. I think I might have said decision. I'm switching to, I think he's going to finish Gage Young the TKO. We're going Evan Elder by TKO. Moving up the card, the featured prelim. We have Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Looks so fucking goofy. So you got Matt Schnell coming off of that brutal KO loss to Steve Erceg. Jimmy Flick, I don't recall off the top of my head who he fought last. Jimmy Flick's not good. He's not good. Is Matt Schnell even ranked anymore? I don't think he is. No, he's not. So after his last fight, I'm pretty sure he retired or said he was going to retire. And then I saw something online that said he had one fight left on his contract. That's when they match made this fight. My gut immediately tells me to pick Matt Schnell because I think Matt Schnell is, I think he could, if he had a chin on him, he could be probably around a top 5 flyweight. I truly believe that. He has good skills. He just has no chin. He constantly gets finished by other men. So part of me wants to pick Jimmy Flick to knock Matt Schnell out, even though he's more of a submission guy than a knockout artist. I am going to go with Matt Schnell to win by decision. Hopefully he doesn't get brutally chinned. Goes out on a win. Hopefully he gets a finish. That'd be great. Be a great story for Matt Schnell to retire on a win. Finish win. But I just worry, kind of double crossing myself now. Do I really pick Matt Schnell to not get chinned? We'll stick with it. I'll stick with Matt Schnell to win via decision. Moving on, opening up the main card. We have Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. I'm going Ikram Aliskerov to finish Andre Muniz via TKO in the first round. I know Ikram's coming off a TKO loss himself to Robert Whittaker, but that's to Robert Whittaker on short notice. Andre Muniz is not good. He lost to Paul Craig. Paul Craig beat Andre Muniz. And yes, I get it. Paul Craig has great wins at light heavyweight, which he's moving back up to light heavyweight. I saw that. It's like, I think Muniz definitely has the better jiu-jitsu than Aliskerov, but I think Aliskerov has the better wrestling. He has the better striking, better power. You have the power advantage to Muniz or Aliskerov. The only way I think Muniz is going to win this fight is if Aliskerov makes a mistake and puts himself out of position, and the Muniz can capitalize on it. Other than that, it seems like every Andre Muniz fight, he's just like a victim. I know he went on a win streak and whatnot not that long ago, but it was against bums. It was against people that aren't good. So I think we're going to see Ikram Aliskerov finish Andre Muniz in the first round via TKO. Moving up the card. I'm actually kind of excited to see this fight. We have Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. I'm going to go Randy Brown to win via decision. Dalby's kind of had a career resurgence recently. I think he's 40 years old. I cannot pick Nicholas Dalby to win at 40 years old. But the cardio, really great from Dalby. Dalby's very well-rounded fighter in his own regard. Same with Randy Brown. I just think Dalby's going to have trouble with the lankiness and the length of... He's going to have trouble with the length of Randy Brown. Cannot handle the length of him. I think I'm going to have trouble closing the distance versus Randy Brown. I don't think he's going to be able to implement the grappling. Dalby is okay in the grappling department with the offensive wrestling, but I don't think he's going to be able to implement it versus Randy Brown. In the past, he has been able to get out-grappled a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Brown, that is. I almost want to pick Randy Brown to finish Dalby in the third round, but Dalby's chin seems very good even at 40. So I think he'll probably survive, and we're going to see a very point-fighty decision from Randy Brown to win this fight. I think he's going to stick and move on Nicholas Dalby, constantly just pivoting off the cage. I think Dalby will try and pressure, but not be able to do it. Moving up the card. Another fight I'm really excited for. Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Pereira is the favorite. I'm picking Abus. Newsflash, I'm picking Abus Magomedov. I understand why people want to pick Michel Pereira. I don't think he's ranked anymore. Let's see. Is he ranked? He's ranked number 14. So this could get Abus Magomedov in the middleweight rankings. And I understand why people are picking Pereira. So he's got really good power. Pereira has one round of cardio. So does Abus, okay? Abus only has one round of cardio as well. Although, in his last couple of fights, he has been able to go through adversity, come back and win, and go the distance. Even in a loss he had to Braulio. He was able to go the distance with Kyle Braulio, was able to survive it, which is not a bad loss to have. Braulio could be fighting for a title sometime soon, with maybe one more win, or maybe even not one more win, fighting for a title. See what happens in that middleweight division. But I think Abus is more well-rounded as far as he's got very good grappling, very good jiu-jitsu, Very good striking. I think Pereira kind of just has the striking, and he will use jiu-jitsu if he has his opponent hurt. If he doesn't have his opponent hurt, he's not offensively wrestling. He's not offensively grappling. He's not trying to get submissions. He's trying to knock guys out in fun fashion. And don't get me wrong, Pereira is one of my favorite fighters as far as having a fun and exciting fight. But I think Abus is more technical on the feet. They both have really good power. I give them both pretty even in that power department. But yeah, I think Abus is gonna get this done. I think he's gonna definitely. I think I could see him getting cracked in the first round and hurt, but I don't think Pereira will be able to finish him. I think Abus will be able to survive. So I'm gonna go Abus Magomedov to win via 29-28 decision, winning the second and third round, and Pereira will probably win that first round. Moving up the card. Is this the featured fight? It is. The featured fight on the card. We have Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Let's see what the odds are for this one. Onama, slight favorite. I would almost go to say that'd be a heavy favorite. How I see this fight going down. If I look at these two, I think Giga is definitely the better person on the feet. Definitely has the kickboxing advantage. I would give the grappling advantage to Onama. Although Giga is pretty decent with the takedown defense. Unless you're... Man, I don't want to call Calvin Kattar elite. Unless he gets tired. We'll put it that. He's good at the takedown defense until he gets tired. And this is a 3-round fight. This is not a 5-round fight. I think Giga will be able to keep David Onama back with his kicks. And I think he'll be able to hurt him to the body with the kicks. I'm going to pick Giga Chikadze to finish David Onama. TKO, kicks to the body. Could Onama win this? Yes. If he is going to win it, I think it's probably going to be kind of a boring, clinchy battle with Giga, pushing him up against the cage, getting clinch control time, doing damage in the clinch, maybe attempting to implement the grappling, but Giga will be able to keep him off. But with being aggressive, he would still win that fight in that aspect. But I'm going to go Giga Chikadze to win via body kick TKO. Moving up the card, co-main event. This is fucked up. We have Anthony Smith versus Zhang Ming Yang. This is Anthony Smith's retirement fight. 38-21. Soon to be 38-22. In all honesty, I really hope Anthony Smith goes out here and beats Zhang Ming Yang. I know it would ruin a prospect of light heavyweight. Ming Yang's kind of... I know he's not fought the best level of opposition, but he kind of has some hype coming from him. China doesn't really have... Outside of the Wei Li and Yan Xiaonan, there's not really, like, that, top Chinese fighter. I mean, you had the Leech, but he's taking a dive now, and he's older. Ming Yang is younger, up and coming in the light heavyweight division, which is a not super talent stacked heavyweight division. Light heavyweight division, excuse me. But Anthony Smith, he just gets bullied. I mean, he lets people do whatever they want to him, and they're in the octagon. Pause. And he does not aggressive at all. He cannot go forward. I can't remember if it was his last fight or the fight before that. I think it was his last fight against Reyes. He was just letting Reyes just beat the shit out of him. And just going, "Ugh," and making mean faces at him because he was so angry. And understandably, his coach died. Longtime coach died. Understandably, you'd be angry. But screaming at people and letting them hit you in the face does not win you the fight. And anytime Anthony Smith gets hurt, gets pressed, gets anything, he just melts. And he just sits there and he just lets... Like, it's almost like his plan is, let them beat the shit out of me. Hopefully they get tired and then I can come back and win. Or let him jump into a guillotine or fall into a submission. I don't think Zhang Ming Yang is going to do that. So for my official prediction, I'm going to go Zhang Ming Yang. So I want to pick him to KO Anthony Smith or TKO Anthony Smith. I don't think he's going to KO Anthony Smith or decision. We're going to go Zhang Ming Yang. Man, this is kind of tough. Because Anthony Smith, although he lets you beat the shit out of him, he is hard to put away. I'm going to go Jang Ming Yang via decision. I think he's going to just absolute dominate Anthony Smith on the feet for 3 rounds. And again, I really hope I'm wrong with this prediction. I would love for Anthony Smith in his retirement fight to get a win and right off to the sunset on top for him. But yeah, don't think it's going to go that way, unfortunately, for him. Moving up, main event. Very excited for this main event. Really looking forward to it. We have Ian Machado Garry versus Carlos Prates. What's the favorite? So Gary's the favorite. That doesn't surprise me. Garry took this fight on somewhat short notice. I believe it was about a month's notice. Who was Prates was supposed to fight? Jeff Neal, I believe. And that fight fell out. Neal pulled out of that fight. Garry stepped in. I think originally Prates was supposed to fight on the last pay-per-view we had. And they just pushed it forward a little bit and gave him the main event slot because Jamal Hill pulled out of his fight with Khalil Roundtree. Gary's last fight, lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Very competitive fight. Garry could have almost won that fight. I think if he would have just won one other round, the fight would have went to Garry. If I remember correctly, I think I scored it 3-2 for Shavkat. And then Garry almost finished Shavkat Rakhmonov. It may have been in the 5th round with that rear naked choke. I can't remember if it was the 5th round. That's been a long time since I've seen that fight. Prates coming off the win. Is this last fight Neil Magny? It must be. Coming off that win over Neil Magny. This is a very tough fight for me to pick. I don't know. I'd love to see like the Tapology rate on like who's picking who, like the percentage wise. I have a feeling most people are probably going to pick Garry. But I don't know. The hype for Prates is kind of high. If I break this down between, where I give their strengths and weaknesses, I definitely give the power advantage to Prates. The technical kickboxing advantage, I would definitely give to Garry. The jiu-jitsu advantage, 100%. Jiu-jitsu and wrestling advantage would go to Garry. I think Prates has good enough defensive grappling to keep him out of these positions. In his fight against Magny was able to get into these positions to try and take him down, but was not able to complete the takedowns. Prates was able to outmuscle him. And I definitely think Prates is stronger than Garry. The only problem I'm having here with Prates is if he cannot knock Garry out, which if he clips Garry on the chin, we have seen Garry drop before. I think Prates definitely has the power to knock Garry out and drop him and finish him. If he doesn't finish Garry within the first 2 rounds, I worry if his cardio can hold up the rest of the 3 rounds. Or even hold up enough to survive. Because in those later rounds, Garry has shown he has 5-round cardio. 5 hard rounds. He went with Shavkat. Moderately hard rounds with Shavkat. Man, I'm going back and forth on this one. For my official prediction, I'm going to go Carlos Prates to knock Garry out within 2 rounds. If he does not do that, I do not see Carlos Prates winning this fight. I see Garry winning via decision or a late round. Probably a submission. I think how I would see Garry winning it, 4th or 5th round. Prates is tired. Gary's putting the grappling on him and the striking, mixing it up well. Flips Prates with something, jumps on his back, gets him with a rear naked choke. I think that's probably, if Garry doesn't win via decision, that's probably how it would go down. But I think Prates is going to be able to find Gary's chin. He has a reach advantage. Garry has a height advantage, though. But Prates has a reach advantage. I think he's going to find his chin within 2 rounds, get him knocked out. And Fighting Nerds train will continue to keep going forward. Let me know in the comment section down below, who do you guys have winning in the main event? Make sure to drop a like on this video and make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.